From my experience, I always seem to find people who I tell my dreams to telling me that they always dream of very similar things to that they have in reality, or it's either so extreme and so crazy that it lacks logic or narrative. Well, I mean, I don't have that problem. Or should I say, I have the opposite problem. I have very structurally narrative dreams. And of course, as a dream, they sometimes lose logic, but that is to be expected. Now, the point of this video is me talking about something that has happened twice, but I think it's pretty cool. For example, I have been a Christian my whole life, and I have been a big fan of mythology. And I just find it funny that I have never had like a Jesus dream or like a dream where there was God. And I always thought that was kind of funny. But I have had at least 3 to 4 dreams where there have been other deities or other mythology figures, which I think is neat. Technically, there have been a total of 5 entities, if you count, like, the devil, but I don't really count him as he's part of the Christian mythos after all, and he wasn't directly seen. It was just an implication of the dream. Anyways, so the point I'm trying to get at is I'm going to basically spend the next few videos talking about that because I thought there might be a fun conversation to have with the channel, to have some video content on here. And in the background, you'll just have this random drawing thing that I've been doing, like a speed paint that's not really related, but is at least somewhat interesting to look at. Although I find it ironic that I am doing a goat from Animal Crossing to talk about other deities. That was not intentional. This is just one of the few art projects that I'm doing in the background that I could use as speed paint. Anyways, so the first one I would like to talk about is, and I should say is one of the more recent ones, is a year ago, I did have a dream where, so I guess I should summarize the dream. The dream was I was on a small cruise boat with my family and another family and a few other families, and we were in the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, that cliche. And if you've ever watched the Percy Jackson movies, it basically went as well as going on a trip to the Sea of Monsters. Like, it went completely off the walls. The first bad thing that happened is as soon as we started getting closer into the triangle, people's families started acting funky. There were murders. There were attempts of assault made by some of the other families, specifically the son of one of the family members, other family members, not my own, tried to do something to my sister. Had to stop that. That was not fun. I managed to kick his ass, but no one believed me, as per usual. And then, after the insanity started to lower down, that's when shit started to go really nuts, as while we were underneath in the ship, apparently everybody was starting to party outside. And when I got up there was just like another boat parked next to our ship. And on the boat, or should I say lack thereof a boat, because it technically wasn't a boat, but it's more of a raft, was a bunch of women in like old Grecian clothing and Dionysus. And he was just giving out laced wine and everybody was having a great time. And we were just partying and having fun until eventually our cruise ship started to move away from him and towards more dangerous waters, and he warned us that this is probably the point where you want to turn back, as fun as this was, because you are probably going to die. But our ships didn't listen and we kept going anyways. And then obviously we get, near a whirlpool filled with monsters, and that's as much as the dream is. I probably could remember the details a lot more if it were more fresh. I just have this one memorized because I find it funny that my favorite Greek mythology god appears once in my dreams, and he's not the villain or anything. He's just part of the fun, part of the insanity. Like, fun fact about Dionysus, he's not just the wine god. He's the god of ritualistic madness, rebirth, and a lot of other stuff. And he is the type of Dionysus of, like, the Greeks and not the Roman. The Roman one is, I can't pronounce his name. Also, he's fat and old, which is, it's not funny. But also looks a little bit more accurate to a drunk. Anyways, so this version of Dionysus from my dream, he was basically almost not naked. Wait, I meant he's basically was all naked, except for like a thinly wrapped cloth, which was purple, and his little traditional little grapevine ring around his head, and he was just a good time, and he was just nice. He had dark curly hair, and I believe like purple bluish eyes. No, wait, it was probably green. I think it was olive green. He had olive green eyes. And he was just a really nice guy. He chilled, talked really nice. He just wanted to have a little fun with the people who have definitely signed themselves up with for death, and he wanted to give us one last good time because we were being stubborn and stupid, and it was fun. He was really cool. From my brief experience with him, and the women who were with him were like his worshippers, his followers. I think there were a few people who were there who were like the half goat people. I can't remember what they're called. Centaurs? No, satyrs. Satyrs. I think it's satyrs on them. And his reason for being in the Bermuda Triangle was that he was visiting his uncle, Dionysus. Not oh wait, he's Dionysus. He's visiting Poseidon. My tongue is stupid and my brain is dumb. I'm supposed to be doing a homework assignment, and I'm just recording this because I'm bored. Anyways, next episode we'll talk about Loki.